left-hand side, our Blue Protoss player here in this next best of 3 is going to be herO from Weibo Gaming. Taking on the Red Terran in the top right from Team Liquid, we have Clem. Alright, so game number 1. Best of 3 quarterfinals. I don't actually know who the winner of this plays in the semis. I did not look that far ahead or ask to kind of get spoiled that or anything, because just in case we casted some extra matches. I don't think we're going to. I think we're just going to go straight to the semis after this. We'll cast both the semifinals, so we'll obviously just see who is in which one, decide which one we want to do first, and we'll go from there. So that's just letting you guys know what's up and what's happening. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, appreciate you all being here. If you do enjoy the games, as always, do consider following, liking, and subscribing across the Twitch and the YouTube. Help us to get more viewers, help you guys to find us again in the future, and we will cast even more games of StarCraft 2 for you guys if you do wish to join us. So check that out. Greatly appreciate it. As we go to ley lines for this game number 1, and I'm just yapping a little bit because, as you can clearly see, not a lot taking place in the first few minutes. Just going to be getting this barracks coming up, but in the grand scheme of things, this is pretty chilled out for now. Pretty chilled out. Camper on the way, command center building. The Cybercore Nexus and the Assimilator all coming up as well, so we bring that through and get that on the way. We're just going to have ourselves the Nexus and Cybercore coming about, the Assimilator and the Pylon coming in as well. Hey, what's up? Warlord Ubba coming in with the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for priming us up. Thank you, thank you. As our Reaper will continue out down to the bottom left-hand side, and is going to go journeying over there for the next few moments. So Reaper moves about against Stalker, Warpgate coming through, the Nexus coming online as well. The battery is going to come up also. And yeah, as this Reaper just wanders around, try and see what's going on. Bunker is coming up on the natural. The Marine coming around as well. Sentry, Warpgate, a couple of Twilight Council as well, all coming through for the moment as he gets set up to go. Just see the Reaper hopping down into the center of the map, going to continue down toward the bottom left. And yeah, Twilight Council still building, a couple of probes on the Stalker, the Warpgate as well, all being added on here. Are going to likely open with Blink. It's really quite expected. Stargate is absolutely the rare option nowadays. You do not see it a whole bunch. That's not really expecting that Stargate across the series, unless maybe herO has some fun plans on a certain map. You can still play Stargate, it's just Blink seems to give you so much more flexibility and so much more option against a Terran. Stargate openers have a lot of kind of rough openers that you kind of end up in bad spots against, whereas it feels like Blink that doesn't happen anywhere near as much. Blink does seem to have become... It's funny because, like, Stargate overall is maybe the safest when it comes to, like, surviving some of the early harassment, but actually it does just die to certain builds and timings a lot more than what Blink does, like I say. So Blink has become almost the safety net build order for Protoss in this PvT, which is kind of what the Stargate and like a Phoenix opener would have been for a long time as well. So Marines come up, the hallucination takes shots. Raven and the interference matrix in production immediately here from Clem. So we get that started out. The Raven is about halfway done. We're going to cancel the matrix. The reason you get matrix is you obviously want to show this as like a, hey, look, this could be Cloaked Banshees. So herO now has to prepare for the possibility of it being Cloaked Banshees because he saw the upgrade. He does not see what comes off the starport. In reality, it's just going to be a Raven that auto turrets. So if you make extra observers for this, then that's, joke's on you. And observers are nice for map vision, but you may not want to have rushed out the observers like you might do so if you're expecting this to be a Banshee, right? So things to think on. As I will say, though, obviously 4 gas here from herO, no third base, and as that Robo Bay goes down, you are going to see him playing this 4 gas 2 base kind of faster tech to Colossus. So he's going to try and rush out some of his tech here, and actually against this is where the Raven would have probably liked to have had the interference matrix available. Stimmin +1 continuing up SCVs and the siege gen coming through. The Marine's going to fire hallucination, taking hits. So we've seen the Stalker coming back around, that Hellion getting done as well. Plus one attack. Charge continue to come about. The Colossus coming through. The Nexus halfway done. Just impact, combat shield, and +1 all continue to come through for the moment, as we do have the CC and everything else. It's going to come about. The Stalkers will be there. It's going to be in position. Hellion gets turned away. Bunker still settling down. And we just take a little bit of time to chill out here still. Hallucination continues to come into the main base. The Marines are going to get there, take that hallucination down immediately, so that goes down with immediate effect. Charge halfway done, +1 attack and extended thermal lance coming online. Colossus and Sentry still building as well. Obviously with this having been a 2-base focused opener on the side of herO, Clem, who's had the Raven, unable to really do much either. It's kind of just sitting back, and I mean, until his upgrades kick in, there really is no reason to fight. If your opponent's 2-base, they're going to have unit numbers to kind of deal with things, so I don't really mind this approach at all. As we take, like I say, a few moments, get ourselves settled in here, get set up. Let's see if he comes to the low ground. This Raven is getting high on energy. It actually swung all the way around to the right side after being denied on the left side at first. Going to drop 2 auto turrets down. Will only chase for 1 probe. At least frees up some of the energy to start recharging, which was not happening initially. And yeah, the +1 attack, extended thermal lance coming through as well. That's the disruptor in production from herO now as well. So bringing that online. Maybe Stalker's going to hit the Hellion there. The Bioforce still stepping up. It's going to be having the Starport coming through. Concussive Shells coming online. Marine Marauder coming through as well. +1 armor upgrade coming in on the side of Clem. So we continue to just get a lot of that on the go for the moment. What am I going to burrow here? Bioforce split into two separate sections. Probe still producing, the Disruptor on the way out, +2 attack upgrade is still building in, the Gateway Cannon and Nexus coming through as well. There's 2 more Vikings on the way from Clem, the 2 Medivac's being added on also. Again, Marine Marauder all being a part of that as the probes come to the front and going to start mining up onto the Nexus location, just getting ready for that 4th base. And I kind of feel like this is somewhat what herO likes, right? You know, you take away Clem's kind of multi-prong and aggression early, you kind of get yourself into a later stage of the game. I don't think herO can be too upset about this, right? I feel like it's a position you like to be in. A lot of the issues you have with Clem is obviously early game, he's so good. He moves around so well, some of his early attacks are so freaking deadly. So kind of getting a little bit of a step up on that and a little bit of a lead on that is a pretty nifty position, to be honest, so yeah, I like it. As the cannon is going to hit this Raven, it goes down. It's a pretty ineffective Raven overall, like 3 Wurga kills I believe in total. You know, sometimes you see that Raven hanging around the entire game. Is you're actually going to see the tanks very much so on their own. We get rid of the tanks immediately. Disruptor shots fly, clipping some Marauders. Obviously the problem with clipping Marauders is that they don't die anymore unless you have a follow-up. Now you've lost your Disruptors, and now you don't really have, I mean, now you're basically hoping the Colossus do enough, but the Viking count is good enough to say no to the Colossus. So I think you've got to be very careful here as herO. There's a lot of games where you go into the Colossus later, the Terran doesn't have the Vikings, and you can actually kind of be pretty good just sitting with those Colossus in the back, and the Vikings aren't there, so the Colossus can't be stopped. That's not one of these cases. The Viking count is absolutely here, so herO has to tread carefully. And he's showing that level of respect right now as well, although those Zealots unfortunately get caught. So they will not end up doing too much. They will go down a little bit, unfortunately. That Disruptor shot could have been better, man. I think sometimes, like, I get it, like, you've probably played 100 games where the Terran splits from that Disruptor ball, but sometimes I feel like you second-guess yourself. You expect the splits, so you go for something that doesn't make sense, and, like, to us it looks silly. I'm sure the logic is there for how herO controls that Disruptor. I felt as though if he just left it AFK, he could have just had so much more, which, like I say, I guess is the case a lot of the time, where you second-guess yourself. Sometimes the Terran does split, sometimes they don't. The way that interaction works, it's, like, so split-second, like, I guess we shouldn't be hyper-analyzing it as much as I am. As the bio actually continues to step through here, Clem's supply is just massive. And he's really just dealt with all the tech units, right? The Disruptors didn't do much at all, so he dealt with those early. And now it really looks as though he's just going to be good to keep on pushing into this base, this below-ground base location as well, easy to get to. Once you're in the middle of the map, there's no ramp to go up or down or choke point to move through. So it's kind of an odd one for herO to have taken. I feel like even the high ground base to the left would have maybe been a bit better, unless you're afraid of the overhang and the ledge below it that maybe Clem could have set up behind. There are reasons to be concerned, don't get me wrong, just overall a little unfortunate. This Disruptor shot going to go for just a Marine. Zelts are still charging through, sentries are going to be there. Vikings go for the Colossus and they will get it. Disruptor gets grabbed, Medevac taking damage. +1 armor about to complete, +3 attack coming through. We've got ourselves the Shadow Strides, the Blink upgrade for Dark Temple, very close here from herO, but I don't think he's going to be in a situation to use that. How can you afford to warp in DTs right now? When Clem will have scans available, EMPs available, etc. It's just unrealistic, so I mean, we're not even at that Blink upgrade yet either. Clem is 60 supply ahead and still pressing through. This base goes down as well. herO just continuing to fall into issues when it comes to bases. He's just not able to keep them online. Colossus. Oh, it does go down. I thought for a moment for some reason it was going to just survive, but turns out the Vikings can keep on shooting, which is what they go for. The bio still coming about. Sentry goes down too. Go back down to the bottom. Another Nexus to be found here. I mean, the Zealot's coming for a surround, but even with the Zealot reinforcements, it doesn't look like it's going to make a difference. Another Colossus falls. This time to Marauders chasing it down. The Zealots might do well against the Marauders, but we can also just lift and get out of here if we want to. Clem will just kite and say, you're not dealing enough damage to me to make me lift up right now. And that is going to be GG's. Clem takes game 1 of this best of 3 series. Here in the quarterfinals, watching through those as we head into game number 2 on El Dorado. Clem already played one fun game on this map earlier today against Rogue. Let's see if he can play a fun game here today against herO. Clem is the red Terran in the bottom left. herO will be his opposition, blue Protoss in the bottom right. herO just really died in that last game, just lost a bit too much stuff, fell apart. Kind of rough. Derek coming up, Assimilator coming through, Rax and the Gas coming over as well. Got the Nexus onto the natural. Just have ourselves the Reaper and the Orbital continue to come up. Cybercore and the Nexus coming over. We take a few minutes to get settled here. Feels like pros are getting better results in tournaments nowadays. Yeah, I mean, MaxPac showing up, herO showing up. Mostly just MaxPac and herO. I mean, when you talk about the top of the top right now, it's herO, Clem, MaxPac, herO. It's like, you know, 2 Protoss, Terran and the Zerg are probably rated as the top 4 players in the world right now. I think that's a pretty good top 4 as well. I think I'd be very comfortable kind of naming those guys top 4. Just, you know, if you put the tier lists out there right now, for me, they are a clear-cut top 4. There's no one that's competing at their level as consistently as those guys are, you know? Obviously, there's a lot of other great players, but I think overall my top 4 devs just simply consist of those guys. With some others that can probably climb back into that position with a couple good runs and so on. So The Reaper is a cruising. Coming around that right-hand side. Reactor Refinery. Coming up from Clem, the Reaper hops into the right. Just going to be seeing the Adept and the Twilight Council coming through. Stalker will shove the Reaper back away over to that right side, and that Reaper does get chucked out of here. So Reaper and punched back at the moment. And get the blink on the way through. The warp gate still coming online. Get that probe to open up. Playing over the left-hand side, a few Marines gathering around. Obviously, the Adept is going to fall, so Clem is able to pick that up at least. Stalker will be there. Hellion gets turned around. Hellion's just there for some map control. Obviously, Stalker won't let it happen. It's not a huge deal if this Hellion gets across or not. Would maybe like to see the third timing. Yeah, another Stalker and that Hellion. Oh, actually gets to the high ground. Going to run into the natural, so we're actually going to get some info. Going to be able to see the Robo timing. That's actually pretty nice for Clem. He didn't actually click on those structures, though, so I don't know how much he really gained from it. Maybe more than anything, that was just Clem able to kind of get to the other side. Nexus goes on to the third. We'll see the Nexus coming through. We get set up. Charge on the way out for a few moments. It goes around that right side, gets taken out as well. So Clem just trying to find as much information as possible here. herO with the Prism and the Charge on the way, taking the third base this time as well. He will expand up on the map, not going to take the bottom portion of the map just yet. We'll see what Clem wants to do expansion-wise when he gets to that stage, currently rocking the 3 racks and no sign of a additional base just yet. Everyone comes across, obviously we'll be looking for some potential to set some water turrets down as we saw before. It was not super successful last game. It was pretty well defended by herO. He did catch it initially the first time as well, by the way. Didn't really mention it, but we did see it on screen where this Raven was kind of caught coming across the map by a Stalker, and that's why it had to retreat and return around the other side. Already here, this Raven comes in for 3 probes, and super early in the game. It's already more effective than what we saw the Raven do last game. It's just going to sit at 3. That next order turret didn't target fire well enough. Will not be able to do too much else. Stand back combat shield. Again, +1 coming through. herO with the Robo Bay as his tech choice right now as well. Probably about to finish. Gateway coming through. The additional assaults and the +1 attack coming about. Water turret drops down and a couple of probes will be going down as well. Got some shells coming online. I'm just going to be having ourselves the Raven still sitting about. Gather and Clem with the couple of tanks out the front. Siege is to take his third base. We're going to completely ignore the bottom of the map for now. Maybe a 4th base at some point from one of these guys. We'll get the bottom side of the map set up as well. extended thermal lens coming over, +1 attack coming up and online. And back loads and we go down to the bottom, and Prism heads into the main base. Yeah, the Prism straight in. I mean, this is Clem wanted to move out, right? But now has to come deal with this at the same time. herO poking at the front. The defense at the front is still good, backed by 2 tanks. The Widowmine shot there was actually a big part of turning that around. As yeah, these 2 tanks are going to do a lot to defend this. Oh, herO, that's not good. Colossus will live for the moment, but I think he's going to die to the chase. That was just a mistake, although he does bait. Oh my god, he's actually going to get a lot of those units. The force fields were very good in return. You still gave up a Colossus, though. Not exactly ideal. Storgum and Colossus coming up, extended thermal lens and the armor upgrade coming about as we speak. The Nexus is still coming online, the probes are building up as well. Turrets drop in, a couple of probes pull back. We do have our Colossus coming up about to finish. Having the gates coming online as well, armory. Gonna give us some upgrade options from Clem as he gets the second engineering bay online, and the 2+1/+1 is finished for him. And the Stalkers gather, Colossus gathers as well. We've seen one Marauder gonna go down. Obviously Clem has the confidence, his army supply is there. There's a couple Vikings as well, man. There's a lot of bio. Stemming straight up. Those Stalkers have to just go running for it. Now, we do have force fields, and we might have to use them here. I mean, it kind of sieves some of the Terran player through. Slows him a tiny amount. So that's come across. Widowmine going to connect. We'll see this disruptor shot. Gonna fire, and that's gonna be a quadruple kill on the Widowmines. Wow. Take that as we'll see what the Zealots can do here. They're gonna hit into the tanks. I'm a little afraid they're not getting onto the bio, and the force fields I felt like hurt them a little bit as well. Bio pulls back to the left-hand side, getting back over that direction. Two upgrades coming online, the Ghost Academy coming up as well. Just going to be seeing the Bioforce gathering, CC lands at the front. That's come across, going to be seeing that factory flow on the bottom side, keeping an eye on things for just a little bit longer. Some speed, +2 attack, all that coming online. We get Ghost on the way from Clem. In the end, I'm obviously worried about here in this game, but Clem is not pushing the issue right now while maxed. This would be the moment for him to try and find some setups, and if he didn't find anything now, hero's going to be maxed. Good work count. 5 bases, moving to a 6 base. Gonna be in a very good position, plain and simple. As the Healer's chased up to the top. The Zealots get chased down. Vikings coming back over to 2 upgrades about to complete. Ghosts will build as the couple of Vikings are going to get jumped on immediately here. Disruptor shot completely whiffs. Prism though into the main. A couple of additional Zealots getting warped in with this as the Bioforce comes in to try and fight those Zealots. Now Zealots coming from the top side as well. You see the Colossus fighting in the center. The Vikings are going to be there. Stalkers need to start getting rid of some of these Vikings. They're also spreading their damage across all the Colossus. If all 3 Colossus live, that's a miracle, because I just don't think that should have been the case at all. As now 15 SCVs have gone down. Bio and the Ghost coming across, getting the rest of those units as well. Seeing the other couple of units coming back over now as the Disruptors still gather in the center. 16 SCVs. Nice attack. This is just the auto turret over here. Gets some of the stack defense. So the Ravens still going active. Disruptors miss. Kills one. The other two get a single Marauder shot. And now Clem going to get a jump to chase that army a little bit. Going to get one more Disruptor. It looks like no. Stays alive. Last second it's able to live. Low HP survival right there. As now we get Bio loading on the bottom side. Going to come pushing across as well. A few Zealots and Stalkers will look to chase. The Medivacs load back up. We resettle ourselves once again here as the upgrades continue through. +3 attack, +2 armor coming in. The Ghost goes down on the bottom side. Bio and Low is going to grab this pylon. 4 base Terran, both players taking the kind of the top side, kind of forward base. The herO on the bottom of the map, I mean, taking the gold base from the 6 o'clock, something I don't think Clem really wants to let herO get away with. But herO putting his army down here is going to make, you know, it difficult for Clem to get there, but maybe Clem could throw everything to the top. It's a lot of army to have on the bottom side of the map that can't easily rotate upwards. So that might be a something you can take advantage of here, basically. We will see. Fire steps through, Stalkers get chased. Pop the Guardian Shield, and we are going to step through right now. Bio going to turn and fly. A couple of EMPs go down. The Prism just about gets out of there. Another Disruptor shot is going to whiff. Colossus now getting jumped on. A few Marines going down. The Vikings are still there. The Prism's low. It could be an easy target as the Disruptor will land for a Ghost. But everything's getting wiped out for herO. He's going to lose everything, I think. I mean, can we chase for the Disruptors will be the question. We even see the Raven showing up out of nowhere, dropping an auto turret in. 2 Disruptors alive. I think that's maybe going to be 0 at the end of it all on this forward base. Not getting jumped on. What's Clem turning around for? Just scared of a Zealot warp in? I don't know what else he'd be turning around for here. I mean, that is... It felt like he just... I mean, maybe just happy with what he's done. Happy to go back, get reinforcements, and come across the map at a Pros who is now struggling for splash damage. Maybe he'd just rather that than anything else. Drop a pylon. We are going to see this Nexus now taking damage too, as that will go down over the next few moments, and we have ourselves the Zealot Stalkers still coming over as well. Vikings land, the Zealots get hit, the Stalkers taking damage too. Still getting chased the other way. The Disruptor now. Stalk's going to be the next part of this. The Vikings on the ground. Zealot charging up. That's a good Disruptor shot from the sides. Another one as well. So the reinforcing Disruptors are doing a lot here. As Clem will have to lift up and back away. Maybe go back toward reinforcements once more. The Zealots are still chasing from herO though. Didn't realize, and he loses a few of those. Needs all the buffer he can get right now. All the army supply he can grab for himself. EMP Nelly nets Clem another Disruptor, but it's going to live on low HP. Tries to fire, gets killed immediately. Again, this is basically just herO hanging on by the Purification Nova. Those Novas trying to keep Clem away and stop Clem from successfully attacking through into herO for victory right now, as we are going to see yet another Disruptor go down. We were making quite a few of them. Libs are going to make it much more difficult though, because now Libs are going to come in from the other side, and the Disruptors are going to have to take Liberator fire if they want to get through. Clem drops back into the Zealot, which shows the confidence he has at this stage of the game. herO just, I mean, he's on 9 army supply. herO's supply is basically probes. He's going to warp in once again. He has quite a lot of gateways, 13 of them. He's going to put them all to use, but he ain't going to last forever. You're going to lose more bases. As you lose bases in economy, you will not be able to use all those gateways, which means you are slowly going to get overrun. If he isn't overrun already, right now he's really holding on by the fact he's sitting in some defensive positions behind Disruptors, and he's going to be looking to let them do a lot of the work here. Fire still steps up. Island goes down. Robo facilities being depowered. The other Zealots come charging through. Got a couple Liberator shots firing forward as well. Another Liberator siege right at the front here. Split apart. A few Marines go down. We're going to try and run in once again. You can do what you want here, but the Zelda's just going to melt. There's not enough reliable splash damage. Disruptors don't cut it at this point. GG's. Clem takes the 2-0 victory over herO. And Clem on a little bit of a run here in this Olimoleague. Moving